Hello and a warm welcome. My name is Robyn Marie Bors Veraart, and I want to relate something to anyone who would want to watch this video about why I love NVC and what NVC brought to me that was, for me, it goes beyond what I had already learned when I studied Transpersonal Counseling Psychology at Naropa University, which is I think it was the first Buddhist university in the United States. And that was a really amazing program, and they did their utmost to move in areas where NVC excels, and one of them is not emphasizing diagnosis, although we learned about all of that and the DSM. It was the DSM 3 and 4 at the time I was studying, and that's the book in the United States that labels all the psychological disorders. And my friends and I jokingly labeled it the IBC, which was Insurance Billing Codes, the Book of Insurance Billing Codes. So we took all of that with a big grain of salt, meaning it was, not emphasized, not as important, not made so important. And so even though, my point is that even though that was a really, in my estimation, just an amazing program, and I'll say one more thing that made it an amazing program is that the practice of meditation was part of our curriculum. So we attended meditation classes, we were in meditation groups, we were, it was strongly suggested that we start our own meditation practice that would be a daily practice. And so the idea behind that is that the better we, the better we as a humanity learn to sit with ourselves and what is going on with us and gain the awareness of our interior, all that is at play, and all that arises, and all the comings and goings, the better able, the more tools we will have at our side, and the more awareness we will bring to the sessions when we are sitting alongside of others. Okay, so that's what I was already bringing, which was already, I thought, really great. And I still think it's really great. And I met NVC later, graduated from that program in the year 2000. And then I met NVC really, I'd heard about it during my studies, but I really met NVC, and I read the book, and I was needing to find some different tools beyond what I had already learned in 2009, which happens to be the year that I got married. So there, and moved from one continent to another. There was a lot going on that year, and what I had was not, didn't bring me all that I was needing. So then I started studying NVC, but I really got going in 2015 when I went to my first IIT, International Intensive Training, here in Romania, where I now live. So what did NVC bring? And I was looking, I was wondering, oh, is there something, are there tools that NVC will offer me that I can, that will be useful not only to me, but that I can share? And indeed, I found them, and there are many, And one that I want to speak about here is the practice of deep empathy that I find that I have found that was new to me in NVC. So I had learned a kind of presence. I had learned the connection, and yet there was still a piece of me when I started practicing NVC that was still very attached to the reframe, to hearing what somebody was saying, and then letting them know ways that, oh, this is actually beautiful, and this can be useful, and oh, let's look at it from this perspective. I've not dropped that completely. Sometimes that can be useful. But what NVC and the people that I've met in NVC, what they have taught me is that pure presence and pure being without any kind of judgment, without moving any of those muscles of fixing, which I learned, probably you learned, we all learned this, the advice giving, we want to fix it, right? Our hearts are open and we just want to help. Well, helping, I get the the need for contribution, and there is something that happens when we can just purely be with, and that's a deeper practice that I learned within NVC circles. So yeah, and that's something that I now do teach and share. I work quite a lot online now, also live where I live. We have a little learning center and a retreat center and a place to come and be. And also I work online with individuals, and we do NVC consultation. And I find that one of the things that I'm really doing the most is I'm holding this kind of purely empathic space for another person until such a time comes that that person can hold that space for themselves. Thank you for listening.